Hey gang, this is JC, and this is the Daily Dose for Friday, January 28th, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Archives top of the page, and there's some great stuff up there, some great old television history that you can sort of punch around and have a good time with. And then also we have our eye candy feature, which is a daily viral video or cool picture. And you would think, by the way, that the Packer fans would leave the Bears alone now that they're going to the Super Bowl and the Bears have gone home. But no, it's a great picture. You will probably send it to everybody you know in Chicago today. It's our eye candy feature. Make sure you take a look at it. It's right below what you're looking at right now. All right, let's get right to the show. Let's get right to the show business news. Charlie Sheen. You know, the story over at CBS is that the 2.5 Men people and then the network is just looking for an opportunity to make him, force him going to rehab. And this might finally be it. He was taken by ambulance to the hospital yesterday after like partying his guts out. He had a bunch of porn stars and stuff like that. You don't even need to know this. You know, apparently there was a briefcase full of cocaine, and everybody from the family shows up. Women who are seen running from the building as the police and the paramedics show up start tweeting afterwards, and they're like, oh, Charlie promised me a purple Bentley if I would just do this one certain thing and everything like that. So this might finally be it. Let's see what happens. This Kendra Wilkinson, this was like one of these Playboy centerfolds who was hanging out with Hefner at the mansion and the whole thing, and then you know, pictures of her start showing up all over the place, and then she has a giant boob job, and there's a sex tape, and, you know, sort of all the standard stuff. Well, now there's apparently a lesbian Kendra Wilkinson sex tape. Hold your breath waiting for that one. This guy in Kansas City is going to end up being the most popular person in sports. A pitcher by the name of Gil Mesh retired rather than take a guaranteed $12 million this season because he said his shoulder's no good, he can't pitch, and he did not want to take the money if he didn't give the Royals an honest day's pay, or an honest day's work rather, to get his pay. And so he retired. And this, as I said, this guy is going to end up popping up everywhere. He is going to be the most popular person in sports right now. It's going to put the pressure on the greedy, on the rest of the greedy bastards. Let's see what happens. Access Hollywood spoke to two top odds makers in Vegas, and they say that the favorite to win the Oscar for Best Picture is The Social Network. I say baloney. The King's Speech, I think, could run away with everything. We're even a little concerned that Christian Bale is going to get bypassed and that Jeffrey Rush is going to win because it's going to be swept up with this just passion and emotion, and everybody just voting across the board for the King's Speech. So I'm telling you, I just think that's absolutely absurd that they have The Social Network as the leader for Best Picture. King's Speech is going to win most of anything. Natalie Portman is going to win for Best Actress. The movie, as you know, you've heard me say, is absolutely absurd. Don't waste your time. Yuck. It's that way people go to the movies. Back to the Super Bowl for a minute. You know, they played 44 of these things, and there has never been a Super Bowl that has gone into overtime. And Papa John's Pizza is betting that there's not going to be one next weekend either. They're running a new promotion. If the Super Bowl goes into overtime next Sunday, they'll give every American adult a free large pizza. Great idea. The only catch is you need to sign up for their free rewards program before Super Bowl Sunday. So we'll see what happens there. By the way, the Girl Scouts, you know, there's a lot of people saying that the Girl Scout cookies this year taste different, don't taste as good, stuff like that. And the Girl Scouts also believe now that they've been selling too many types of cookies, so they're cutting down next year. It's going to be 6 flavors. You're going to get the mints, the do-si-dos, the trefoils. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't eat cookies. The Samoas, the lemon, chalet creams, and the tagalongs. Those 6 already make up more than 3/4 of the cookie sales every year. If you like the other Girl Scout cookies, you're SOL. LA Weekly did a random survey of 175 college students at UCLA, and yesterday they published the results online, and one of the questions they asked, they said, if you were still a virgin, my guess is they had trouble finding respondents on that, if you were still a virgin, what would you realistically sell your virginity for? The guys said $1,000, the women said $1 million. $1 million. Saturday Night Live, speaking of the Social Network, Jesse Eisenberg is going to be the guest host on Saturday night. And then the Screen Actors Guild, they usually have that on Saturday night, so many years now. They're moving it to Sunday. That's on TNT and TBS, and our pal Angie Harmon, who was on the show with us the other day, is going to be doing all the online tweeting and Facebooking and all that sort of stuff, so you can look for that. She is an absolute party. We had her on the air the other day, and she is an absolute scream. All right, it was on this date in 1980 that Babe by Styx was certified gold. You know the story if you remember the day we had Tommy Shaw from Styx in the studio back at the old Classic Rock KSD at 93.7, and Tommy Shaw did about 20 minutes on what happened the day that Dennis DeYoung brought that song into the studio, sat down and started playing. Tommy Shaw said the band members all sort of looked at one another and said, "That's it. Our band is done. This is the beginning of the end," because Dennis DeYoung came in and played that song, and it was so different from anything else they'd ever done. And you could clearly see that Dennis DeYoung was thinking about going out on his own, and that he was trying to do those sorts of songs within the framework of the band Styx. And the guys, as I said, all sort of looked around and said, "That's it. We're done." So it was a big hit for him, but it was also the beginning of the end. All right, what do we got here? Also, speaking of birthdays, John Forsythe would have been 93 on Saturday. Tomorrow's Saturday if you're watching this on Friday. I mention that only because they're talking about doing another Charlie's Angels TV series, and they're starting to throw some names around about young actresses who might star in the new Charlie's Angels. I almost said Charlie Sheen. Well, he has his own Angels, doesn't he? The new Charlie's Angels TV show. And of course, he had a couple of very successful movies. By the way, Drew Barrymore apparently is like one of the executive producers of this new attempt to get Charlie's Angels back on television. And of course, John Forsythe was the voice of Charlie. And the reason I bring this up is because many of you will remember the name Harry Ornest. All right, now Harry Ornest was the guy who came along and on one hand saved the St. Louis Blues from moving to Saskatoon, I think it was. And on the other hand, Harry was one of the most bizarre individuals, and he was cheap, and he was a son of a gun. And when he moved back out to California after he sold the Blues, he went out there, and there was some big racing track in Orange County, and Harry Ornest, the former owner of the Blues, and John Forsythe, for whatever reason, these two guys did not like one another, and they're at one of these really sort of upscale clubs at one of these racetracks in Southern California, and these guys start jawing at each other, and apparently, well, not apparently, you can look it up, it's all over if you look it up online, these two guys got into a fist fight in one of these upscale clubs, and apparently Harry Ornest beat the snot out of John Forsythe, who at the time I think was 73 years old, because this was about 20 years ago. So these two guys in their 70s are just pounding on one another. See, that's how I want to go out. All right, JC's eye candy today, as we mentioned, is this. I'm just going to show you real quick, just to tease you. But if you look right below us right now, as I said, you'll send this to all your Chicago Bear fan friends in Chicago. When you see this, you'll forward it to them. So that's JC's eye candy today. And speaking of sports, just a reminder, if you want to go on our spring training trip, it's going to be McGraw-Millhaven and John Hadley and yours truly. And we're still checking. I'm not sure if Trish is going to be able to come along, but we'll let you know on that. It's on Southwest Airlines, and it's being all put together by Altair Travel and Cruises. We're going to be there March 2nd to the 7th, and we have hotel accommodations at the Hilton Singer Island Oceanfront Resort. That's a beautiful place, by the way. You get cards, tickets to 3 of the games. There's a day at the beach included in the whole thing. You get $20 in stadium coins you can use to buy hats and T-shirts and stuff like that. There's a pregame buffet at one of the games. There's transportation to and from, cocktail party on Sunday night, and we're all going to be broadcasting our shows live from Cardinal Spring Training. So if you want in on this, you can go to altairtravelinc.com, altairtravelinc.com, or just give them a call at 968-9600. That's 314-968-9600, and maybe we'll see you down in Jupiter, Florida. That's coming up in 5 weeks. It's only like a little over 4 weeks. So things are getting better. I'm looking outside at this disgusting snow. The temperature's supposed to warm up a little bit here over the course of the weekend, and then I hear we're looking at another possibility of a significant snowfall here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So make your plans accordingly. It's going to get real cold next week. And I got a funny hunch. That that's going to be it for the really, really bitterly cold weather. You know, we get down to like 10, 12, 14 degrees overnight next week. I just got this feeling that that's it. We still might get some more snow, but that bitter cold, I just got a funny hunch that's done now when we get through that next week, okay? And I'm just guessing, by the way. So, but I'll talk to Dave about it and let you know. All right, that's it. JC's Daily Dose for Friday, January 28th. 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Oh, don't forget, we're on the air every day, along with Trish Gazelle on the Big 550 KTRS from 10 in the morning until 1 every day. We have Eric Mink on Tuesdays. We got the Gals on Wednesday. Thursday, professional comedian Joe Marlotti. And, of course, on Friday, we did Mixtape Friday with our pal Smash. That's every week. And, again, that's 10 in the morning until 1, along with Trish Gazelle on the Big 550 KTRS. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.